What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Top Deck TJ here, and I'm going to be bringing you my YCS Las Vegas profile. Unfortunately, I didn't make it as far in the main event with my team as I would have liked to, but it's nor here nor there. We did do quite well in some of the side events as well. Me and the Cali Effect ended up getting paired up in a regional qualifier. Unfortunately, we faced off round 2, but it was basically whoever won that match would win the entire qualifier because, let's be real, we was like the best players in that qualifier, and it's just hands down that easy. But let's get right on into it. I will be playing 3 copies of Foxy p.u.n.k. Foxy p.u.n.k. is the bread and the butter of the deck. It allows you to summon all of your punks that are non-level 8, so your Deer Note, your Xiamen, Madam Spider, Shirikuzai, basically everything other than the 3 Overdance that you play as well. This is the best searcher in the deck besides Xiamen. This baits out Ash a lot of times, because if you activate this first, sometimes they think that you didn't see a baby punk, and then you a lot of times normal summon the Xiamen, which nets you so much advantage because now you've gotten a hand trap out of the way. Speaking of the best baby punk there is, Xiamen is going to be your searcher. It facilitates most of your combos if you have it already, pretty much, and it is the tuner. Probably the second best baby there is. Only reason why I say that is because I believe Shirikuzai is that much better. Shirikuzai allows you to fusion summon into a punk monster and synchro summon into a punk monster on your opponent's turn. The first part is only on your turn, unfortunately, but synchro summoning into Amazing Dragon is super huge. It's a free Giant Trunade. At this point, they can pretty much just unban Giant Trunade. Just kidding. No, they can't. Moving on, played 2 Deer Note. I feel like maxing this card out used to be really good for like the first week. But you don't want to draw this card. A lot of times there are, like, you'll search it and then you'll use its effect to summon itself and then like dump anything into the graveyard, because the other card that you reveal will go to the graveyard, but you will be able to summon the Deer Note. There's also times that I've used it to summon a level 8 to my side of the field to instantly go into Amazing Dragon. So there's some cool spicy plays with it. And then for each of the babies, we play 1 Wugon and 1 Madam Spider. This is basically a free terraforming, and you're going to see your extreme sessions with it. Most of the time it doesn't get stopped, unless they just have multiple hand traps and they're willing to waste it on it, because, I mean, at that point, why not? But Madam Spider also allows you to see the Nishawari Surprise or the Dangerous Gabu, which are basically just pops or imperms, and they facilitate some other things. Like the Dangerous Gabu does give you back life points, so there's been times that I've used it to gain life points because I saw I was going to be attacked for game, and my opponent didn't realize that it gave me the life points while you control a punk, so I basically have a free turn to play. Outside of that, we just play the 2 extreme sessions. I was maxing this card out, but you see it so often that you don't really need it, as well as we have some other pretty cool cards that help you get to it, which you'll see in a second. We play 2 Dangerous Gabu. I feel like if you're going to play multiple versions of the Punk Trap, you're going to play multiple of the Dangerous Gabu. It is a free imperm and life gain, so there's no reason why not to play more. I'm still playing 1 Nishawari Surprise in today's format because it is so searchable, and I feel like if you need a second one, you're probably in a very bad spot. But I'd rather draw the Dangerous Gabu, which is why I play more, because then I could just search out the Nishawari Surprise, and now I have 2 interruptions, plus anything else I have on board or in hand. That is it for the Punk engine. Pretty much wouldn't change anything. I don't think I'll ever change anything in the future too. It's just too solid, too good, way too consistent. So moving on, for other main monsters, I'm playing 3 Fenrirs. This card is way too good. There was a game against Cali that I actually summoned it and a Xiamen, made a Barone instantly, didn't activate an effect because he had the Mazen Ninja, and I just attacked over the Mazen. I popped his back row. He ended up trying to bait the Barone negate, but I knew that the Ninja art. I knew the ninjutsu art pretty much would destroy the monster that he summons, so that means he's not going to get that monster's effect, and I don't lose anything, and I keep my negate. This card checks a lot of other decks. It is also one of the best level 7 monsters in the game currently, and it helps you make Barone and Chang Ying, so there's no reason not to play it. But I also play 2 Chaos Hunter. Kashtira is too predominant in this format, so as soon as they summon one of your one of their Kashtira monsters, you're able to just summon the Chaos Hunter for free. It is also another level 7, so you can make Brone or Chang Ying off it on your turn, and then potentially go for game or just have a giant negate. So it's also really good. Moving on to the hand traps, I played 2 Ghost Bell, 2 Ghost Mourner, 2 Ash Blossom, and 1 Ghost Ogre. The Ghost Ogre is searchable, so you don't really want to play more than that, but it is also really good in this format. It helps you get rid of the Diablos or the Arise Heart. It can potentially get rid of stuff. Unfortunately, if they have the Shangri-La already, they're going to protect their Arise Heart, but that's okay. But the best hand trap in today's format, Nibiru. I'm playing 2 copies because this deck draws a lot of cards. There's no reason you're not going to see it. There's been games I've had 4+ hand traps, and I just, your opponent can't do much. The last hand trap outside of that would be Imperm. I'm only playing 2 copies because we also play 2 Dangerous Gabu, so we have more than enough monster negation. And to be honest, setting 3 sometimes in this deck is really spicy, and your opponent's like, I only ever seen this deck set 1 card before. So it's really good. Moving on to spells and the last 6 cards of the deck, I played 3 Emergency Teleport. It helps you get into your baby punks. There's been times I've used it to summon a Ghost Ogre depending on the matchup, so that way I could have the Ghost Ogre on the field to destroy something that they're using or summoning. And then yeah, it's basically another form of interruption sometimes. You can also use it to summon the Shared Kuzai on your opponent's turn, and then synchro summon if you just don't want to use it, or like if you don't want to summon it from the graveyard through Deer Note, or if the Deer Note gets stopped. So you still have like ways to be able to synchro summon on your opponent's turn. You can very much look at them and be like, draw phase, emergency teleport, and then they already know that you're gonna do what you're gonna do. We also played triple tactics talent. This card is cracked. Nobody's not activating a monster effect on your turn, so there's no reason not to play this card. The only reason why I don't play tasking is because we draw so much in this deck that you don't need the tasking. You're bound to see it. There was a game against Cali in the regional qualifier that he was like, I'm going to play around the triple tactic talent and I'm not going to activate a monster effect this turn, and he was very smart for doing so because I had it. Moving on to the extra deck, for Punk names, I am playing 2 Punk Jam Dragon Drive. It is the level 8, it is a searcher, it is also a free summon from the graveyard if your opponent responds to a Punk card, giving you another monster, or potentially a free rank 8, synchro 11, whatever you may need it for. And keep in mind, you will proc it's a first effect to search if it's special summoned. It doesn't have to be synchro summoned, so you could still search a level 3 Punk after you've already searched your Ghost Ogre, and then proc your extreme sessions to draw, which is a really neat interaction. So it's basically a +3 just for summoning it. Amazing Dragon, I play it at 2. There's no reason not to play Giant Shrunade at 2. Plus it reborns a Punk monster, so let's say you activate its synchro summon effect on your opponent's turn, and then they pass turn and you still have it on field. You can use it to bring back like a Rising Carp or level 3 tuner or anything that you need in order to make more plays. There's been times that I've used it to summon a Madam Spiderback, search a trap, draw again, and I just +3 there as well. And then I play 1 Rising Carp. Rising Carp is really good, not needed. I see people trying to play 2 because they're in fear of like Unicorn or Diablos's banishing it from your extra deck, but just summon the level 8 or the level 5 as soon as possible if they do banish it on you, and then you're still able to make your plays. So really you're wasting 1 less summon going into it, and Shared Kuzai is still live without it because you can still use Shared Kuzai to synchro summon. No need to play anymore. The one card that I would say is a Punk card that pretty much nobody else is playing in any other deck, because there's not many burn my life points decks that can also summon a level 11 synchro monster, and that is Psychic and Punisher. This card is, whoo, it's massive. This card can get really beefy, and it is unaffected as long as your life points are lower than your opponent's. There's been times that I will attack with other monsters first, leaving this unaffected. That way, in case they do have something, it's unaffected. There's times that I also just summon it and pass my turn because I'm not going to do damage and make you lower to make this unaffected. I'd rather wait till I can guarantee game but give you a monster you can't deal with. For the only other level 8 synchro monster I play, it's Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. It's just a time card. I barely ever go into it unless I just need to burn for whatever reason to go to for game, but really it's just I'm going first, synchro, you know, like do my plays pretty much and just burn you for a bunch of damage. For level 10s, I'm playing one Baronne and one Changing. These should be pretty much self-explanatory. The Changing is really good in today's format because Kashtira is a deck, so they're going to banish a lot of cards, and Baronne allows you to negate, pop, and recycle your monsters. A lot of times I'll summon a Fenrir off of the Baronne if I've already used the negation effect, and then that way I have another response or interruption on my opponent, and also gives me another beefy monster, which is really cool. So knowing that you can recycle your Fenrirs is pretty huge. For the only rank 8 that I play, or an Exceed monster that I play, it is going to be Hope Harbinger. Hope Harbinger doesn't come up quite a lot, but Kashtira does play a lot of spells. So if you're able to go first and you're knowing that you're playing against Kashtira, you can stop the Theosis, or you can stop the planet, you can stop Birth, which is really good. And then on top of that, if they can't get this off the board, they're forced to attack into this. So if they don't have a monster that's 3100 or bigger, they're pretty much crashing or dying to the Hope Harbinger. For links, for the link 2s, I play a Dark the Dark Charmer and a Cross Sheep. There are games that I've summoned Cross Sheep and then made the Shared Kuzai to make the Rising Carp to give me the Shared Kuzai back, to then continue on to plays. Especially in like a game where I'm going second, this card can easily provide game. Just because of that one monster you summon off of it can be that much advantage. I also play a Nightmare Unicorn. Being able to link up sometimes isn't bad, plus the spot removal. A lot of times there's moments that you want to get another punk name into the graveyard, like a level 3 for Amazing Dragon. So you can go ahead and discard it and then get a spot removal to get something off the field that is problematic. But I also play BLS. It's quite easy to summon in here. To be fair though, a lot of times I don't use it. Most of these links I don't summon. Cross Sheep is probably the biggest one that I summon, or Dark the Dark Charmer. But you have so much room in here. Not only that, you can also kind of play mind tricks with your opponent. So like they might be looking at like the Rising Carp, and then they don't know what else to get rid of out of your extra deck. Because you play 2 Jam Dragon Drive and 2 Amazing Dragon, they're less likely to be able to get rid of them fast enough before you're able to use them. So they'll probably go for stuff that they think is problematic that isn't actually problematic, or that you'll probably never be able to summon because the game state at that current time. And then lastly, for link 4s, I play Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker allows you to facilitate games so much that like if you're not going for the Psychic End Punisher, you're going for this because you want to clear a board and then make big attacks, which is perfectly fine, because that means that you can't facilitate an Amazing Dragon, or you just want to be flashy. So but that is it for the extra deck. Moving on to the side deck, I play 2 Lava Golem. This allows you to break Kashtira's board very easily, and a lot of people are leaving more than 1 or 2 monsters on the field. So being able to just summon this and basically say, I broke your board for free, I'm going to continue to play because I have cards like E-Telly and Foxy Tune at my advantage, which means that I generally never need a normal summon. The deck can use the normal summon, but it's not always needed. I also play 2 Dark Ruler No Mores. This also helps break the Kashtira lock. It also allows you to play into Sword Soul. It allows you to play into so much that you just normally wouldn't be able to. You know, stuff like Apollosa can be very hindering because you go to summon a Xiamen and then they negate it, and then you're like, well, if I summon the Shared Kuzai, you're just going to negate it too. So this card allows you to do things. Also for the Kashtira mirror match, we're playing Murmur of the Forest. This allows you to break the field spell and the Shangri-La, or the Arise Heart if they are just playing Arise Heart lock, which is fine. But it allows you to get rid of so much of their board to be able to play, which is really, really huge. We also play one Change of Heart, one Harpy's Feather Duster, and one Lightning Storm. The Lightning Storm is more or less just there so I have something else to draw. I'd rather see the Harpy's Feather Duster, but there's times that, like, you know, you're going first or second, and you know that either your board's gonna get cleared or you're trying to clear their board, so you just you play the Lightning Storm. If I could play more copies of Harpy Feather Duster, I would probably replace this for a Raigeki, but because of the versatility of it, it's not bad. I play 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors. This card's really good against Despia, Labyrinth, and like a few other decks. It just helps you kind of do some cool things, but it's not needed. To be fair, I probably would replace this for something else. It was more for testing purposes, but it also did pretty well too. I played 2 Dimension Barrier. The reason behind only 2, again, like the rest of these cards, you draw so much, and being able to draw these cards allows you to make some spicy plays. I sided this against ninjas, I sided this against Kashtira, I sided this against Tier Elements, I sided this against everything. Sword Soul, whatever you see, I sided this against, and it worked wonders. For the spicy card, I sided 2 Trap Stuns. Most decks are somewhat playing back row now. Labyrinth is really huge, Ninja plays back row, Tier Elements play traps. I know Kashtira plays like the Big Bang, which isn't like something you're probably gonna hit with a Trap Stun. But it's also for cards like Evenly or a Dimension Barrier against you. Like there was a time that he Dimension Barriered me, I flipped the Trap Stun face up, and I'll continue to play. It just is what it is. Now for the combo. I'm going to show you a 2-card combo that allows you to facilitate the entire board that you could potentially make if you only had these 2 cards. Now keep in mind, if you're going first, you'll have 3 other cards. If you're going second, you have 4 other cards, which is going to net you some insane advantage. So activating the emergency teleport will allow you to summon the Z-Amen, and summoning the Z-Amen would allow you to search the Shirikuzai, which then allows you to normal summon the Shirikuzai and be able to go ahead and synchro summon into, allows you to fusion summon into the Rising Carp, which you can then tribute for the Wagon and the Deer Note. That way you can go ahead and make your level 8 plays. Wagon would then search you the field spell, you would immediately activate it, and then go into a synchro summon, summoning Jam Dragon Drive. Jam Dragon Drive would then trigger as Chain Link 1, Deer Note would be Chain Link 2, and you're going to target the Shirikuzai in your graveyard. So you would then summon, and for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and add a Ghost Ogre to our hand, and then that would allow you to draw another card, which I'll make another Triple Tactics talent for now, just for being a blank card. This then is an interruption on its own. You've done all of this, and you would have 3 or 4 other cards. You could take away the Ghost Ogre and search the Madam Spider, which you could then banish the Deer Note 4 to summon and be able to search one of the traps, which would then give you another draw as well, which will make the 3rd Triple Tactics talent. So you can see you would have drawn 2 cards, searched a card, 1 card from hand, which means you have 3 or 4 other cards. That is huge, because then you set this, and that is full combo. Foxy Tune plus a card is full combo on its own. Foxy Tune would activate by sending itself to the graveyard for cost. You would then discard a card, being the Triple Tactics in this case. We would then summon the Z-Amen. Z-Amen would activate and search you the Shirikuzai. Shirikuzai would then fusion summon into the Rising Carp. You would summon the Rising Carp, tribute the Rising Carp to be able to summon the Deer Note and the Wagon again, and you can pretty much see how linear this deck is. After searching the field spell and activating it, you would synchro summon into the Jam Dragon Drive. Jam Dragon Drive would be Chain Link 1, Deer Note would be Chain Link 2. You would summon the Shirikuzai again. We're going to search the Madam Spider just for the sake of it, and then you're going to draw a card off of the Extreme Sessions after the Chain Link resolves. It is a new Chain Link, by the way. You would then go ahead and use the effect of the Extreme Sessions, banishing the Foxy Tune to summon the Madam Spider. You could then search the Nishawari Surprise again and draw another card. And again, you only use 2 cards out of your hand, which means that you have a 6-card hand going first, and that means you pretty much net 4+ cards, 5 cards, throughout this entire combo. If you guys enjoyed this deck profile and combo tutorial, I would love to do more of these, so please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. That way I know how good I did or what you guys want to see differently, and until the next one.